typically on this channel, I discuss the pros, the ultras, and the maxes that typically, unless you're saving for them, are going to kind of be hard to buy on a whim and are kind of breaking the bank at upwards of $1,000. But then you have phones like the Pixel 9a that come in at a really affordable $499 price tag, and depending on the retailer like Best Buy here in America, you can actually get for an additional $100 off for $399 if you let them hook it up to your carrier for you. And what I can say here about the Pixel 9a, being someone that has covered every single Pixel for the last couple of years, even back to the Pixel 5, and those all have been really good phones, and I love the Pixel 9 Pro XL. The Pixel 9a has been a really impressive device, even more impressive considering the price point. And I'm gonna walk you guys through all of the ups and downs, ins and outs, and the diagonals of why the Pixel 9a might actually be the phone that you consider for all of your day-to-day needs. And there's a really big premium feature that helps the Pixel 9a punch above its weight class just a little bit. That might be the tipping point for some of you guys watching. So if you guys are new here, my name is Dave, and this is where tech meets lifestyle. And normally I would take the time to sit down and re-record those things, but I don't really have time right now because I'm leaving to Taiwan for a brand trip, which I actually have all of you guys to thank for that. So thank you so much for watching these videos. And so I don't have time to re-record the A-roll for you guys. So I am really sorry. Again, it's not the entire video, just some shots, but outside of that, the rest of the video, I think, looks pretty darn good, and hopefully it's helpful for you guys. But anyway, I'm talking too much. Back to your video. Thank you guys so much for understanding, and I love you guys. For those of you who might be wondering, ultimately, why someone would go out of their way to get an inferior phone compared to, say, like your iPhone 15 Pro Max, 16 Pro Max, your Galaxy S24, 25 Ultra, or even the Pixel 9 Pro XL. One of the biggest reasons, of course, outside of any economic shifts or anything like that, it's just the pricing. But ultimately, I feel like phones have gotten so good nowadays that you kind of get a little bit of diminishing returns. And ultimately, for a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, a lot of those flagship phones are flat out just kind of overkill because most people are not using all of the power that those phones have to offer every single day. So you get a phone like this that's compact, comfortable to hold in the hand, and you're still getting really good performance for the everyday things that you likely are going to functionally and practically need on a day-to-day basis. Now, something that really impresses me every single time I pick up the Pixel 9a is the build quality. Typically with phones in this price range, they feel very plasticky and very cheap, but here you have an aluminum frame, a glass screen, and although yes, there's a plastic backing, the actual composition of all of these materials together, the curved edges, the heft in the hand, this does not feel like a cheap device and does not feel like a massive drop off from their premium Pixel 9 Pro XL in terms of in-hand quality. And the haptics here, I'm happy to report, are also very pleasant in the hand. When you're increasing the volume slider, if you have it on vibrate and you're receiving texts and typing on the keyboard, all of those things in tandem with the Pixel software experience that you're getting here, which Google software experience, depending on who you ask, is second only to maybe Apple devices, right? Apple, their software experience, their contextual animations, the way things just flow into one another, the quote-unquote magic of the Apple experience. I'm really not even someone that prefers iPhones. I have one, like I have my 16 Pro Max here, but to be honest with you guys, I really just got this to review for you guys, to use it so I could be impartial in all of my reviews in context with like other Android devices compared to this. But on any given day, I'm not choosing an iPhone. But their software experience is amazing. And on the Android side of things, Google's software experience is arguably the best there is. Although OnePlus's software has really taken a massive jump, I might like it more than Google's offering, honestly. Basically, all that I'm saying is that this device for $499 or $399 does not feel like a cheap phone in the hand, and the overall experience that you're getting on a day-to-day basis, opening different applications, multitasking, all that stuff, feels really great. And in this price point, what you're getting is what I think personally is a really good looking 1080 by 2424 6.3 inch OLED display that you're also getting a 120 hertz panel out of, as well as 2700 nits of peak brightness. So when you're outside texting, browsing emails, if you're at the park, the sun is right above you, it's a clear blue sky day, you want to show a video to your friend or family member, this is a phone with a nice size, really good looking and bright enough display to do those things. The only caveat here is that the bezels are a bit chunky, but honestly, all of the positives that I just listed off about this display, having slightly chunkier bezels than like the premium offerings, is absolutely a trade-off that you're going to take every single day of the week. So I'm gonna show you guys something here too, right? So I use a MacBook for all of the editing that I do here on the channel, and typically it's much easier to actually send files from, say, my iPhone to the MacBook than using an Android device, right? I'm gonna send over these files because they're the files that I'm going to be using when I'm talking about the camera section a little bit later on in the video. And I'm going to hit share right up here. I'm gonna go to quick share. And you'll see MacBook Pro. Options, accept. Go over here to the downloads tab. And now all of the videos and pictures from the Pixel right in on the MacBook. And so for those of you who kind of have like that cross ecosystem thing going on, have no fear, you can make it work. I don't know about you guys, but I know for me personally, growing up, my family and I flat out just didn't have the most money. And so growing up, I always dreamed of having like a more plush mattress, one that I lay down into, I kind of like sink into it. It's the Nola Evolution mattress, which is one of those mattresses that when you're laying down on top of it, you absolutely get that kind of like sunken in, sort of comforted feeling. It features their Airfoam HD and HD Max and Tri-Zone coils, which offer responsive pressure relief and targeted support where side sleepers need it most. And a heat escape gusset for refreshing relief alongside their zoned Airfoam HD and coils for targeted support and maximum flexibility. Three huge benefits which offer peace of mind is that they have free shipping, a lifetime warranty, and there's also a 120-day free trial, which I think just really speaks to the confidence that they have that when you lay down on this thing, you're not gonna wanna send it back because it's quality and it's comforting. So if you're looking to upgrade your sleep, head to nolamattress.com. I'll have the link in the description in the comment section down below for you guys with my custom URL and the code that you can use for the best possible discount. And this is an additional discount on top of what they're already offering on their website. So I implore you guys to definitely check it out, and thank you so much again to Nola Mattress for sponsoring this video. Now, when we're talking about the cameras here, there have been a couple of interesting changes that Google's made compared to the 8A from last year, where over there you're getting a 64 megapixel camera. Here you're getting a 48 megapixel lens with a 1.7 aperture. And what I can say is that in general, for like your point and shoot scenarios, the pictures here, pretty good. This has been a solid shooter. And again, you're not expecting to get like premium flagship photos out of this, because this is a mid-range device. And the 13 megapixel camera that you're getting on the front side is going to be, again, solid enough for like your selfie pictures and like if you're FaceTiming a friend or family member, which is really all that I personally use it for. The ultra wide pictures that you're getting out of this, I personally think they look okay enough, but the macro shots that you're getting out of this, I think are solidly detailed for the images that you're probably going to want to take out of this. Now, when it comes to the video, for the primary camera, you're getting 4K 60, which I think does a solid job. But again, this is a mid-range phone, and taking into consideration everything else that you're getting as a cohesive whole in this package, 4K 60 on the primary, when you want to capture a moment with like, say, your kids or your family or your pets or at a sporting event, the 60 FPS there is going to make sure that you're capturing things very smooth and you can show it clearly to other people or look back at that memory fondly at a later time. That being said, although this doesn't have like all of Google's premium camera and video capabilities like on their premium flagship, something you are getting that is premium is going to be all of their AI tools for editing your pictures. You're getting that entire suite of comprehensive tools at, again, about half the price of the flagship offering. And talking about the AI built into the 9A, what you guys will be happy to know is that Gemini works here and it works well. Though there are a couple of small caveats, right? So like on your Pixel 9 and 9 Pro series, you're getting 12 gigabytes of RAM, where here on the Pixel 9A, you're only getting 8 gigabytes. And really what that does is that it limits the ability to run local AI models on the 9A. And so without a bunch of nerdy jargon, what that means is that the Gemini AI that you're getting on the 9A is going to run and process things a bit slower than on the 9 and the 9 Pro. And again, that's one of those things that for the price point that you're paying for this, depending on who you are, you probably can live with that, especially because you still are getting a comprehensive AI experience here on the 9A, and you do still have access to that live Gemini function where you can have live conversations, ask it about things that are on your screen or things that you're pointing your camera at. Those things are still just as available to you here on the 9A as they are on the 9 and 9 Pro, though sometimes this misses the mark with like what I'm asking it about or what it thinks something is that I'm pointing at. But as a whole, I can say that Gemini, compared to something like Apple Intelligence, is just like in a different category altogether in terms of capability and in terms of practical functionality and usefulness on a day-to-day basis. Performance-wise, with the Tensor G4 chipset, that's one of those things where for like your normal everyday things, right? If you're texting, phone calls, your social apps, YouTube, even having like the YouTube bubble window open while you're scrolling through, say like X or Instagram or Facebook, all of those normal miscellaneous everyday things that 99% of people are going to be using their phone for, this runs great. When you're going to play games similar to like other Pixel devices in the past, doesn't do a great job at carrying those like really heavy hitting games like say Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact at their maximum fidelity settings with maximum texture, shadows, bloom, anti-aliasing. And I've always been of the opinion that for like say the 9 or 9 Pro, would be really nice if you're able to get like maxed out settings on those phones the way that you are on say like on your iPhone Pro Max series or your Galaxy Ultra series, but you're just not. You're running things at more like medium to maybe medium high settings depending on what the game is. But for the 9A, that's a mid-range device, that's something that you can probably live with. Though what I will say is that when you are playing those games, this phone does get warm pretty quickly and does get like rather warm, especially if you're doing like longer gaming sessions and if you are trying to push the pixels pretty hard on this, push the pixels pretty hard. A little bit of alliteration there, but if you're trying to push the pixels hard on this. In this USB-C port, you're getting a 5 gigabit per second capable device, which is nice if you're trying to port over, say, like those 4K video files and larger files to, say, your computer for editing or whatever it is that you're trying to do. You're getting a 5100 milliamp hour battery on this, capable of wireless charging as well, and also 23 watt fast charging. What I can say is that the Pixel 9a has really been a very capable device in terms of being like an all-day battery phone. I'm able to take this comfortably off of the charger in the morning and get to the end of my day with a good amount of battery life left. Again, in terms of saving money and looking at the things that really matter for your phone, right? Being able to do all of like the texting, staying in touch with people, maybe some social media browsing, taking solid pictures, and also not having to worry at all about the battery. This thing is really proven capable in a ton of different ways. And I've been really impressed by this, especially for the price point. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. Drop me a cucumber emoji in the comment section too, so I know that you made it to this point in the video. I'll make sure to give you a very special shout out. But thank you guys so much again for stopping by and hanging out. I wish you a fantastic remainder of your day, afternoon, or night, depending on the time it is that you are watching this. And as always, peace, love, adios, bye guys, and have a great day.